are the two sides of my irregular rib scarf. This is the right side of the work. So you have these little ribbed areas that are broken up by reverse stockinette rows. And here is the wrong side of the work. Now I don't hate this. I think this looks like an interesting textured pattern. I think this looks like an interesting textured pattern. So would I call this stitch reversible? Not exactly. It's not going to be exactly the same on both sides, but I honestly don't hate this, and I think that it would work fine in a reversible situation because it looks okay on both sides, even though it's not exactly the same. So you want to begin by casting on an odd number of stitches. In the case of the scarf that I showed you, there were 33. I've cast on far fewer for this little sample that I'm going to use in the video. Now, most of my scarves here, you'll notice on YouTube, I have a lot of rib knit scarves because there's so many different ribbings in the world, and I'm going to try and catch them all. I have 3 garter stitches at the beginning and at the end. So I'm going to go ahead and knit my first 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. And now for the first row of the pattern, it's a 4-row repeat. If you were reading the scarf pattern, I believe this is row 5, you're going to knit 3, purl across until 3 stitches remain, and then knit the last 3. So this is the right side of the work that has this purl row. And when you're working on the edging that I did, which was, again, a bunch of rows of garter stitch, giving me 3 complete ridges across the bottom. You don't see a lot of difference here between the garter stitch and the reverse stockinette, but I do like to begin and end my scarf with these sections rather than the ribbing section. I just think it makes the border lay flatter. So here's my knit 3 at the end. Row 6 if you're following along with the written pattern, but the second row of the 4-row repeat, we're simply going to knit across, continuing on knitting my last 3 stitches, but I knit this whole row so it doesn't matter that much. Now for row 7, if you're following on the written pattern, or the 3rd row of the 4-row repeat, we're going to knit 3. If you were just wanting to learn this stitch pattern and you weren't making a scarf, you could eliminate the first and last 3 stitches, just FYI. So now, after I knit 3, I'm going to purl 1, and then I'm going to knit 1, purl 1 across until 3 stitches remain. Now, why do I want this stitch to be cast onto an odd number of stitches? On the rows that begin with a knit 1, excluding my edging of course, I like that row to also end with a knit 1. So that's why I like an odd number. On the rows that begin with a purl 1, excluding the side edgings, I like it to end with a purl 1. So I like to have my first and last stitch be the same. So I began this row with a purl 1, I ended it with a purl 1, and then my 3 knit stitches. And then for the wrong side row, row 8, if you're following the written pattern, the 4th, whoops, I got a little booger here. Let me see if I can get that out. This pattern is a lot easier to read your knitting once you have a few rows established. So if you can manage to sit down and put the first 4, 8, 12 rows on so you have an established pattern, it's going to make your life a lot easier, trust me. So we're on the wrong side row here. We've knit 3. The pattern will tell you knit 4 because we're going to knit that first one. And then purl 1, knit 1 across until 3 stitches remain. If I didn't have those 3 stitches at the beginning and the end for my scarf, of course, it would have just begun with that knit 1. And for those of you who always ask, the yarn is Heartland from Lion Brand. I will have a shoppable link here if you want to check out the yarn. And I'm using my Clover Takumi Pro knitting needles because those are my current favorite. I don't know if we have those on YouTube shopping, but I will take a look. So, excluding the first 3 stitches and the last 3 stitches, I began with a knit stitch, so I ended with a knit stitch, and then I'll knit those last 3. And that is all 4 of the pattern rows. So, this is what we're starting to get. On my next row, I'll knit 3, purl across until 3 stitches remain, knit 3. The next row will be knit all the way across, and that will happen whether you have these side edges in it or not. The next row will be knit 3 at the beginning of the end, and in the middle we're going to have a ribbing pattern starting with a purl stitch and ending with a purl stitch. And then for the 4th row, we're going to have a ribbing stitch beginning and ending with a knit stitch. So I'm just finishing the first row of the repeat here. Let me grab the finished scarf. I think it's easier to see. But you can see I'm starting to build up my pattern. Here's my little ribbed section, and there is the beginning of that reverse stockinette stitch section. Now, is this pattern stretchy like a ribbing? Sort of. It does have a little stretch to it. It doesn't snap back like a knit 1 purl 1 ribbing. I don't know that I would use this for the cuff of a sock, for example. On the other hand, I did block this lightly. Now I steam blocked it. I didn't kill it. I didn't want it to get too hot. It is an acrylic yarn. And I believe this colorway is called Kodak Valley or something similar. I will write it in the description below. I love this purple because it's purple without being in your face purple. It's not one of the tweeds, but it almost looks like it is. It has a lot of depth of color. Now, this particular scarf, after I blocked it, is 8 inches wide by about 52 inches long, and that is with 1 skein of yarn, which was about 250 yards. If you wanted to make a longer scarf, buy a 2nd skein of yarn and keep going, and you can make it a lot longer. If you wanted it to be more narrow, you could eliminate some stitches in a multiple of 2. Remember, you always want to have an odd number. And if you wanted it to be wider, you could add some stitches in a multiple of 2 to the original cast on, which was 33, remembering that we always want to have an odd number of stitches. So that is all there is to the irregular rib. And thanks so much for hanging out with me. And check out, we have a ribbing playlist. I have some other ribbing videos here on YouTube. I have the broken rib and the mistake rib and the fisherman's rib. And when I find more ribs, or you can request more ribs, I'll make more scarves. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm Mary Beth Temple. Take care. Bye-bye.